Hello and welcome everybody. Oh, today I'm very excited to share this magnificent person with you. I have with me Michelle Cooper, founder of Alchemy. I met Michelle when I joined and did my 1 year with David Bear's legendary program. And Michelle was not only did I meet her throughout all of the events that we had for the program, but she was my personal coach. And we had a year together, and I couldn't love her more. I think she has amazing wisdom to share with you. And it's always a fun conversation. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Michelle Cooper. Hello.
Yay! Awesome. I am so excited to talk to you and your amazing audience today.
Yes, yes. Well, today we're going to have a really juicy conversation. We were just kind of fleshing out before we went live what we wanted to talk about. And truth be told, there's probably 1,000 things we could talk about because
Absolutely.
we're like-minded. But we decided what would be really juicy would be talking about the magical truth about abundance. Abundance is such a buzzword. Everybody's like, I want to feel abundant. I want to be abundant. What does that even mean? Well, we're going to find out from Michelle's point of view. So Michelle, tell us a little bit about you and who you work with.
Awesome. So I am a transformational mindset and business coach. I'm also a former, I call myself recovering accountant. And I own Alchemy, and we provide we provide accounting and bookkeeping and coaching services to coaches and consultants and practitioners. So you can tell by the name, a lot of the what some people might call woo-woo or alternative business models fall into our container of support. And we're able to not only support them with accurate, detailed financial records, but also understand their purpose and their impact in the world. And that is really important. Those people are often not served or underserved in the marketplace for, say, accounting, bookkeeping, coaching, because people just, the traditional model doesn't really get it, right? They're like, Reiki, what's that? Or, you're a witch, I don't understand this, right? And so it's amazing to help them have even greater business success and therefore financial success and personal success.
Oh, I love that so much on so many levels. I will say this, that you look at accounting, which is, most people would think of very linear, very corporate type of thing, type A, and you make it holistic. And that's what I heard as you were talking. It's a holistic model to accounting, to your finances, in your personal life, in your business. And I am a holistic minded person. My business is holistic. When I developed a Goddess Lifestyle Plan, it was like we looked at the 12 key areas of a woman's life, because I knew that one key area affects other key areas, or one key area can affect all of the other key areas. It's just, we are holistic creatures. So it's such a breath of fresh air to look at something like accounting and bookkeeping and all the things we need to do for our business to support us as a holistic example, really, in action.
Yeah. And it's so funny because a lot of times out in the marketplace for business development or even accounting services or whatever, the support is there for the business. And entrepreneurs have a very special, particular relationship with money and their business. And so the personal side of entrepreneurial finances is often ignored.
Yeah.
And the business owner is they're so enraptured with their business that they have a hard time seeing the difference. And usually, because it's so purpose-driven and impact-driven, they'll give everything they have to that business and go without in their personal lives.
Yeah.
And it's been such so fantastic to see that we can bring this level of support in. So not only supporting their business, but also having them start to look at their personal finances, right? And what they want to achieve. I often say to people, if you're not paying yourself, eventually you'll resent your business.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I've been there, by the way. I can attest to
Me
that,
too.
honestly.
And it's important to figure that out, right? And to be looking after our personal situation and our business. They may interact. They probably do if you're an entrepreneur, and we can have both.
Yes. Yes. Love it. Love it. What do you think? Why is knowing the magical truth or the real truth about abundance so important? Because, like I said, it's a buzzword. And I think people think, oh, I want abundance, but where is abundance? And how do I find abundance? And more importantly, how do I keep abundance? Once
Right.
I find it, how do you view it?
Well, for me, I realized in my own journey and in coaching, I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs. And I realized that there's this pursuit of abundance, right? Like there's this pursuit of money, of abundance, of prosperity. And in the pursuit of that, there's the inherent lack of it. So all of a sudden you're like, oh, if I'm pursuing something, it's because I don't have it.
Yeah.
And what I would offer is you do have it right here in front of you right now. It might not look exactly the way you desire it to look, but if you're always in this pursuit of abundance instead of living in the resonance of abundance, then you're always chasing something that you lack. And so you're actually sitting in fear, lack, and scarcity energy rather than ease and flow, relaxation, abundance, and prosperity.
That was just like a moment, right?
Right?
That was a truth bomb. I love that so much. I'm
Right?
gonna watch that when in the replay for myself and just
It's
really,
subtle,
it is subtle,
right?
but it's so true.
And
Oh,
that's what I found over the past couple of years. I've noticed these subtle things. I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually in lack right now.
and you don't realize it because it could be
Don't even know.
hidden in the well, for me, ambition, hidden in that ambition, because it's always the next. Even for me, it's like, oh, I hit a goal, next,
Right.
so I'm always in the next and not in the wow, I have it, all that I need and want now, right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And in that, we have what we have now. And we talk about we all know about gratitude, right? So we can be grateful for what we have. We can be grateful for what we don't have yet. We can be grateful for what we don't prefer even, right? You and I have done lots of work on that, right? And even in that, like, and I desire more, right? So I came to this place of like, I'm incredibly grateful. I'm incredibly happy where I am now. And I desire more, and I desire different.
Beautiful.
That's different
It is
than
different.
like achieving the goal and on to the next, onto the next,
Yes.
onto the next,
I
right?
love that. It's subtle, but yet so different when you really, really look at it, like pluck it out and look at it. Love it. You mentioned something about resonance, and that word is just, I love that word so much. I believe that everything it has resonance. When those who believe magically or live magically know that everything carries a vibration. Everything, my living creatures, things, everything. So when you're thinking about the magic of abundance, do you have a tip or a trick that you would share?
Totally. So this became like kind of like visible to me through the resonance of plants and crystals, like earth kind of elements kind of thing. And I was like, I love all my potions and oils and like herbs and all the magical stuff. I love my crystals and all my things, right? And I easily understand that those things have a resonance. Like to me, probably the first place of understanding that was crystals. I could feel the resonance of different crystals. And I'm like, oh, I kind of get it when people are talking about this. And then I realized, well, if these things that I'm using, like say rose oil, right, which feels so good and luxurious and has that really high frequency, right? if they have a resonance, then the things I'm putting in my body, the food has a resonance. So suddenly I started changing what I was putting in my body,
Yes.
away from like animal products, more into plants. And actually I started referring to plants as like medicine, like
Yeah.
plant medicine. And I know that that's like, there's different forms of plant medicine, but I see all plants as plant medicine, whether it gives me a hallucinogenic experience or not, kind of thing, right? And then I realized, oh, so what I put in my body actually matters a lot, right? Um, and it kind of like expanded out from there. And I realized that there's a resonance of abundance that is a way of being. So it's walking in that, it's living in that, it's being intentional about what you put in your body, about what you consume, what you put on your body.
That's right.
Like I was talking to a client recently, and I was talking about painting my house, and she's like, there's animal byproducts in paint, right? So make sure you get the paint that doesn't have that, right? And I'm like, oh, because that would change the resonance of your walls, right?
So, wow. Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
so I was like, it is actually, abundance is actually a resonance, and it's actually a way of being rather than a thing you do,
Or a thing you chase,
or totally a thing you chase,
right?
right?
Yeah.
And I spent like years before thinking like, okay, I've got my affirmations and my crystals, and I'm doing this and that, and my journaling and my prayers and my like all the things, right? And I'm like got my lunar rituals, I got it all laid out, right? And sure, that's awesome. And it contributes to a way of being. So it's not the doing that it matters, it's the way of being.
Mm, mm.
And that shifted everything for me.
Yeah.
And if there's one like tip or trick I would tell people, what I did last year, which I shared with you, when the world was shutting down, the world was in constriction. And
Mm.
that's how I felt it, right? Like I felt this like closing inness. I was super intentional about expansion. So I was like, where can I expand my capacity? The first place was like giving money. It seemed obvious, right? I'm like, well, I'm going to give money. I'm going to give time. I'm going to give support. I'm going to give. So I reached out to all my clients. I'm like, what do you need? What do you need from me? I'll be there, right? I doubled donations to charities. I found new charities to give. I gave away more money than I have ever given away before. And I believe that one act of like always looking at that place that I could expand my capacity, actually, it's like the cause and effect, right? Like the universal law of cause and effect. It brought so much back into my life, like so much. I received more money in COVID times than ever before, not from like governmental support, from clients and other sources I didn't even know would happen. And it was like, holy moly. So I always say to people, like, whatever you got in your wallet today, give away. Give it away. Give it to a homeless person, give it to another person, give it to a charity, give it away. And express gratitude that you have that money in your wallet to give away, and just watch what happens.
Oh, it's such a great, first of all, what a wonderful practice for just that giving rise to the world, giving, giving, giving. And then also just a magical truth right there. When you're being when you're being abundance, being it, it just, you're now like attracts like, right? It's the law of attract. It just, things come to you in the way that you are being, in the vibration you're at. So that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you. That's a great tip and trick.
Yeah, and
People,
really,
do it.
right? When you give all that you have, you actually are saying, I trust that I will have more.
More's on its way.
Yeah. And I remember many years ago, I was in Sedona at a Buddhist temple and they had the offering place. And I jumped out my wallet. I was like, whatever money I got, I'm just going to put it on there. Right. And this man beside me was like, what are you doing? I said, I'm giving everything I have because I know that more will come.
Um,
Right. Like, it doesn't matter if it's pennies, dimes, nickels, quarter. I don't care what it is. It's the act,
yes.
because the act shows that you trust.
Yes.
Right.
It's so counterintuitive when you're in lack and fear to do that. And
Oh,
that's
totally.
the magic, right? That's the magic.
That's
That's
the
the
magic.
alchemy. That's the alchemy. That's when you turn, lead into gold in your life. Awesome. So I kind of feel like what we kind of talked about a common myth around abundance, which is when you don't think you have any more to give, find other ways to give and activate. If you can't give with money, give in service, give in, there's always more. We are so blessed, all of us. And sometimes we could get fixated on what's not going right. And we then are
Absolutely.
in that place of like things are not good and I don't have what I want and stuff. So that, do you think there's any other more common myth than that? Just being like, I don't have it. We talked about so many gold nuggets already.
Yeah, like there is that you do like people often get caught up in what's not working and they get caught up in lack, right? Because it's that I want. Um and and in that is the invitation to trust,
Yeah.
right? And to give whatever time, money, energy, whatever it is. Um and really I think the myth of this comes is really around like uh this idea that it's either like this abundance is this like magical spiritual thing, or there's these other people that are very analytical and like it's numbers and stuff like that, right? And if we even think about like the crossover, like people will talk about right brain, left brain, and all that kind of stuff, right? It's like numerology is a very magical thing that's based on numbers,
Yes.
right? And so that's a great example of it's both,
Yeah.
but we've separated these two things. So what I see is so many of our clients that, new clients that come to us, they have neglected that kind of dollars and cents kind of financial foundation of their business. Maybe they're behind on taxes. They have no accurate, detailed financial records. They might not have optics on what their business is actually doing or how profitable it is, but they've almost rejected that piece because they're like, I believe in abundance and it's magical and it's all just going to happen.
Yeah.
And it will. And we live in a world where we need to stay in compliance with the IRS, right? Where we want to make sure we have enough money in the bank to pay our bills, right? And there's some things we need to look at, right? Like money is a thing. If it wasn't money, it'd be, I don't know, like spices or berries or I don't know, whatever it would be, right? But it would be something.
Yep.
So we have to kind of count it. It's part of our world. So I would tell people like try to step away from this idea that it's one or the other because it can be both. You just need to find the right support,
Yeah.
right? And look after, it's part of looking after your money. I call it being a good steward of money.
Yeah. And I usually say be in right relationship with it. Like we want to be in right
Yeah.
relationship with our money, with our business, with our relationships. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Like I see, I see money as kind of like a river, right? Like it flows and there's parts that are rapidy and there's parts that are slow and fast moving. And then there's little eddies that come along and like it's a journey. Money is making a journey both into your life and out of your life. And if we think about it in terms of a river, we would want to be a good steward of the river, right? Like we wouldn't want garbage flowing into the river. We wouldn't want the river to get blocked by, a landslide or something, right? Like we would want to care for it.
Yes.
We don't have to manage it. We can't really manage a river unless we put up some kind of crazy dam, right? So we don't have to manage it, but we have to be a good steward of it. And part of that is knowing the landscape,
Oh, I love
right?
that so much, Michelle. That really resonates with me as a nature lover and, an elemental priestess. I work with nature and the elements intimately every day. I just love the idea as money as a river, prosperity, abundance as that river, and being a good steward of it. I love it so much, so much. Oh my gosh, so much to really just soak in. I've got something for you though. This is my favorite question to ask because there's always
Yay.
so much wisdom in this question. What is one thing you would tell your early entrepreneur self?
Oh my God, relax.
Relax.
I would be like, slow your roll, big rig, like
Yeah.
relax. Oh my God. Stop pushing so hard. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Stop judging yourself so harshly, right? Um, my business is 11 years old. And so I feel like I've been around all the blocks, maybe not all of them, but like a
Most.
lot of them,
Yeah.
right? Um, like you, we've had lots of conversations about
Yeah.
that, but I feel like I've seen a lot, and I've done a lot or whatever. And if there's anything that I wish I had done earlier, would be to understand that everything, absolutely everything is happening for me. There is no failure. It's just a different result than I expected. That result is happening for me in some way, shape, or form. And relax. It's all going to be okay.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
That's what I would say. I would tell her, like, chill, lady.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it so much. Well, how can our viewers find you? Everybody needs some Michelle Cooper in their life. So how can they find you?
Yeah, well, they can find us at alchemyaccounting.ca. Now, we're in Canada, but we support entrepreneurs across North America. So we've got US team, Canadian team. Uh, they can find me on Facebook under Alchemy or Michelle Cooper. You can friend me. I still have room for more friends. Um, or Michelle B. Cooper on Instagram. That's where I kind of hang out.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Any final thoughts you want to share?
My God, so much. I would probably like offer like a little bit of a challenge, like for anyone who's listening that is feeling like they don't have enough. How can you be okay with what you have right now and desire more?
Mm,
And just consider that in your meditation, in your journaling, in your conversations with people. Like, how can we be okay? So not be in that fight or flight energy, like, or that like highly driven pursuit, which often is focused on what's not working. And how can you relax your nervous system? And when we are relaxed, that creativity flows. We have access to different resources and thinking. And how can you be okay right now with everything you have and desire more?
mm. I couldn't stop smiling this whole interview. Oh my gosh, I just adore you so much. Yay!
Oh, yay!
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. I mean, watch again because there was some really, really juicy stuff in here. Thank you so much. And until next time, Michelle's information will be below this video wherever you're seeing it. And I hope you connect and you get to know each other better. All right. Well, thank you so much, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.